Jury deliberations began today after the prosecution and defense made their final arguments to the jury in the murder trial of Darryl Roberts. I'm Latricia Thomas.
And I'm Joshua. The prosecution maintains Roberts could have stopped any time before he pulled the trigger on the gun that killed Christopher Wright, and that he acted in a cold and uncaring manner after the fact while Wright lay dead in the street. However, the defense stood before the jury and said Wright's actions that night in 2023 resulted in an unreasonable and passionate reaction from Roberts, not a premeditated killing.
That's after Roberts testified that Wright called him a racial slur, despite other testimony claiming they didn't hear that type of language.
Let's now go to News Channel 9's Mary Beth Mangrum, who has been covering this case from the jury selection to deliberation. Mary Beth.
Yeah, Josh, Latricia, we're on day 5 of this trial, and all the evidence in this case has now been presented. And the jury is currently in deliberation, but we got another chance to hear from both the state and the defense one last time before a verdict is announced.
If that's not an unlawful killing, then what is? An unarmed man on a public sidewalk along a public street shot in the forehead.
That's Prosecutor Paul Moyle saying that finding defendant Darryl Roberts guilty of first-degree murder is the appropriate choice.
He stood up, he pulled the gun out, and he walked to his victim. I submit to you that that has been proven by the video that you can see and you can judge.
The state points to this video, which caught the crime on camera, and gives a glimpse into how Wright behaved leading up to it. That includes how Wright gestured towards Roberts and another man as they sat outside of Patton Towers.
That what I see is him shaking or trying to shake those two men's hands.
And that Roberts showed intent to conceal that act after the shooting.
He destroyed the firearm and put it in a dumpster behind a restaurant on Brainerd Road.
For the defense,
But just watching the video, being angered by it, that's mob justice. You sit between this defendant and the rest of the state of Tennessee.
they argue it was passion that caused Roberts to pull the trigger.
You are able to act even when you don't intend to.
Defense attorney Steve Smith said another charge should be considered by jurors.
Voluntary manslaughter is the kind of case that this one probably should have been charged.
As of now, the jury in this case has been deliberating for around 2.5 hours, and we'll keep you updated as that continues. Reporting live, I'm Mary Beth Mangrum, News Channel 9.